Thank you for joining us. Welcome to Nightline. I'm Handy Gui. Let's dive into the news. Remain calm. Stay vigilant and abide by the rules to curb the virus during the movement control order period.
Kapit's MP Datuk Sri Alexander Nantalingi had advised the people of Kapit and Song not to panic after the State Disaster Management Committee has decided to impose movement control order in the two districts. Nanta appealed for all residents to remain calm and comply with the SOP set by the government and the Ministry of Health throughout the MCO. The Domestic Trade and Consumers Affairs Minister said panic buying would only aggravate the situation in the two districts. He also deployed a team of KPD and HEP personnel to monitor basic supply of essential to all residents, as well as to monitor traders from rationing goods. He expressed confidence that if everyone could educate themselves early and safeguard themselves and their families, the efforts to curb the spread of the virus in Kapit would come to fruition.
Meanwhile, a busy atmosphere can be seen in Kapit town as locals take the opportunity to buy daily necessities before the implementation of the movement control order.
Aside from grocery stores selling essential goods, the bank was also crowded with people. The long distances spurred the local community to prepare early with the daily supplies before the two-week MCO starts.
Laban kila kami ka PKP dah nya ila nyunan ule nurun kami laban dah start PKP nyo takut ka bala man sila mayo nurun ke pasar nya merewang nyo beli ke barang sarito mayo nurun sarito pada babala pasar semua.
Bukit Goram Assemblyman Jefferson Jamit said the early preparation is a habit for those who lives in rural areas.
But it's all under control. The one I want to say is under control because we have the Rela, the police to assist us there to look into memantau. You say even if the people rush for buying food, but it's still under control. I say maybe we don't say panic buying.
At the same time, Pelagos Assemblyman Wilson Nyabong Ijang continuously advised the locals to remain calm as aid will be given following the current development.
Kita cakap bagi tahu dia orang bertenang lah, sebab tiada cara lain untuk kita menyekat epidemik ini. Tapi kita tapi dia orang faham lah sebab itu sudah berlaku masa dulu.
Right. Now, Longhouse Chief need to maintain a good relationship with the representative of the people to ensure the implementation of development plans for the prosperity of the Longhouse community.
Chief Bengau Anda said his longhouse has never missed out on any government aid.
Lebihnya, semua rumah tadi, dia tolong perintah lah semua. Dia tolong perintah semua, ambil hatap semua, ngau beri bata, lalu ngetal bilik, semua perintah nolong kami. Tang bisik bantu kami pun sikit bisik, tapi perintah okeylah nolong kami. Sikit kami di rumah tu tadi, nadai oleh hari-hari perintah.
He added the funding for the road to the housing area has been approved by Kapit Member of Parliament Datuk Sri Alexander Nantalingi and Pelagos Assemblyman Wilson Nyabong Ijang. In terms of economics, the Longhouse community is focused on agricultural and livestock activities.
Pemansang kami dalam tupik itu, ya sudah diberi perintah. Subah dari tahun berapa aku pernah ingat, tapi tahunnya subah bisa diberi lada, getah, semualah kuko, semua hotel buka dah, mayu diberi orang. Pasal apa? Pertama tupik kami ditahu, pemansang kami ditahu.
For Robert Ngendang, the Longhouse community also carries out fishing activities in lakes.
So, majulah. Dari segi perkenan deh, rumah bengau tu yang lama tu deh, nang sidaya aktif. Baka udah ya cukup matang tadi ya sidaya bisa nyual. Keluar bahasa Kapit nanti dah cukup matang deh.
Tony also hopes that assistance requested by the Longhouse community will be approved by the Agriculture Department, as that is one of the main activities that contributes to their income.
Maka dipinta untuk rumah panjai. Nanti uliah baka kita ngisi orang ba opis tanam tupe tadi deh. Nanti uliah beri magang masih dato. Labannya ke salah satu ke kena kita nama nambah kasir deh. Kita nemu Datuk nyu musim hujan, nyu musim nama tadi utai ke bakal buah bakal tanaman lada tadi nyu kurang harga nyu pedih lah untuk kami ke kawasan Ulu betul deh. So harap perintah tadi berunding kanya lalu ngadu ke peminta lah tapi tadi deh. Oh, terima kasih.
Bagi memastikan pembangunan terus dibawa ke kawasan rumah panjang, tuan rumah perlu mempunyai hubungan yang baik dengan wakil rakyat. Ini sekaligus dapat merancang projek baru yang dapat membawa kepada kesejahteraan komuniti di rumah panjang. Selain itu, tuan rumah juga perlu melibatkan diri secara aktif dengan program yang dianjurkan kerajaan supaya mereka tidak tercicir daripada menerima sebarang maklumat terkini yang penting dan perlu mereka tahu. Saya Setiodawi bersama juru kamera Zain Hashim melaporkan untuk TVS.
More than 80 dilapidated houses in Batu Kitang constituency under the Sarawak Poor Home Improvement Program (PPRMS) will be repaired.
According to Batu Kitang Assemblyman Low Ker Chiang, since it was implemented in 2017, more than 70 houses had been repaired. An allocation of 15,000 ringgit has been set aside for each house.
Menggunakan 15,000 ini, kita dah siapkan atap yang bocor, lantai yang berlubang-lubang, tandas yang tidak sesuai, yang tidak ada septic tank, kita pun sudah beri septic tank juga, dan dapur yang tidak selesa, kita pun sudah membaiki. Dan dalam 5 tahun yang akan datang, saya yakin dalam N13 Batu Kitang ini, kita tidak akan ada rumah lagi yang atap berbocor ke, lantai berlubang ke, tandas tidak sesuai ke, dapur yang tidak selesa ke.
Additionally, he is confident that by 2021, more than 80 houses would have been repaired for the B40 group.
Authorities have determined the source of a blast that shocked residents in several locations in Sabah, Labuan and Sarawak. The origin of the blast has been ascertained to be from a meteor.
According to the Brunei Darul Salam Astronomical Society, the meteorite was seen in Brunei airspace and was bright enough to be seen in the daylight. Based on the information from the public, the extraordinary phenomenon was witnessed by the public and captured in photos and video footage. On Sunday, the citizens of Sabah and Labuan felt panic when the blast occurred, which lasted 10 seconds.
The Yang di-Pertuan Negeri's wife Top Puan Dato Patinggi Ragat Kurdi Taib are among the 335 recipients of titles conferred by Yang di-Pertuan Agong in conjunction with this year's Federal Territory Day. Ragat is among the 6 recipients of the Seri Utama Mahkota Wilayah Award, which carries the title Datuk Seri Utama. Others from Sarawak receiving the titles are Puncak Borneo MP Willy Mongin, Seratok MP Ali Biju, and Limbang MP Hasbi Habibollah. Willy, Ali and Hasbi are among 81 recipients of the Panglima Mahkota Wilayah, which carries the title of Datuk. Federal Territories Minister Tan Sri Anwar Musa, in a statement, the date of the conferment of the titles would be announced later on. Anwar also said the honours list for this year's Federal Territory Day, which is celebrated today, included 7 types of award, ranging from the 1st to 7th ranks of honour. Joining Ragat in being conferred the first rank Darjah Kebesaran Pangkat Pertama Seri Utama Mahkota Wilayah, which carries the title Datuk Seri Utama, were Finance Minister Datuk Seri Tengku Zafrul Abdul Aziz. Joining Willy, Ali and Hasbi in receiving the Panglima Mahkota Wilayah Award were Housing and Local Government Minister Zuraida Kamarudin and Senior Education Minister Muhammad Radzi Majidin. The government will not completely close the economic sector even when implementing the movement control order, as it will adversely affect the income of the community.
According to Senior Minister for Security Cluster, Datuk Sri Ismat Sabri Yaakob, the government had decided on this to strike a balance between lives and livelihoods, even though there were calls from various quarters to shut down the economic sector to curb the spike in COVID-19 cases. Ismail Sabri said the government had to protect the economic interests of the poor, especially the bottom 40% income group or B40.
The first batch of the COVID-19 vaccine will arrive on February 26th, and it will be distributed throughout the state.
According to Health Director General Dr. Noor Hisham, the ministry stated that the vaccine distribution timeline will be completed within 2 weeks. On November 24, 2020, Malaysia expects to receive 12.8 million doses of Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine. This is to meet the requirements and the immunization needs of 20% or 6.4 million Malaysians for free.
A total of 115 volunteers have been vaccinated under the third phase of a COVID-19 clinical study involving 9 hospitals in 5 states, including Sarawak General Hospital.
Health Minister Datuk Sri Dr. Adam Babas said that they were the earliest group of 3,000 volunteers comprising individuals above the age of 18 years who met the stipulated conditions and criteria. He said the hospitals used as the sites for the study under the supervision of the Institute of Clinical Research were Ampang Hospital, Sungai Buloh Hospital in Selangor, Sultanah Bahiyah Hospital and Sultan Abdul Halim Hospital in Kedah, Penang Hospital and Seberang Jaya Hospital in Penang, Raja Permaisuri Bainun Hospital and Taiping Hospital in Perak, and the Sarawak General Hospital. He further said the program has just started 3 days ago after Prime Minister Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin announced the date of the study at the end of this month, which will be carried out in a period of 13 months. Dr. Adam Babas said the remaining volunteers were expected to receive the injections in stages in 4 weeks' time. The third phase of the clinical study is being conducted in collaboration between Malaysia and China through the Institute of Medical Biology and Chinese Academy of Medical Science.
Now on to the COVID-19 developments. Cebu District today recorded 1 new death due to the COVID-19, bringing the state's total number of fatalities to 39. The 39th death involving an elderly man of a 77 years old elderly man.
The case was screened on January 22nd after he experienced a fever. The case was found to be positive for COVID-19 after undergoing an RT-PCR test, and he was admitted to Cebu Hospital for further treatment. His health condition deteriorated and showed no response to the treatment given, and he was confirmed dead on January 31st. The case had a history of comorbidity of stage 4 chronic lung issue, high blood pressure, and gout. Meanwhile, Sarawak recorded 105 new positive cases on Monday. 20 were recorded in Miri, followed by Bintulu with 19, Lundu 14, Cebu 13, Kapit 11, Maradong 8, Song 6, Bau 2, Kenawit 2, Serian 2, Kuching 1, Samarahan 1, Matu 1, Julau 1, Pakan 1, Dalat 1, Beluru 1 and Subis 1. This brings the total number of positive COVID-19 cases in the state to 4,555 cases. Meanwhile, the State Health Department detected 1 new cluster dubbed as the Bintang Daily Cluster in Maradong District K Division. Kapit district has changed from orange zone to a red zone, while Bau and Lundu districts have changed from yellow to orange. Beluru district, meanwhile, has improved its status from a red zone to a yellow zone.
The Malaysian Health Ministry has reported 4,214 COVID-19 cases and 10 deaths in the past 24 hours. This brings the total number of infections to 219,173. Health Director General Dr. Noor Hisham Abdullah said there were 4,280 recoveries, bringing the total number of those discharged to 170,329. There are 48,074 active cases with 316 patients being treated in intensive care and 137 requiring respiratory assistance. Meanwhile, the 10 deaths have taken the total death toll to 770. The new cases today involve 4,205 local infections and 9 imported cases. Selangor recorded the highest number of cases today with 1,362, while Johor also reported 4-digit infections at 1,068. State and federal territories that recorded 3-digit infections comprise Kuala Lumpur, 702, Sabah, 276, Perak, 193, Penang, 119, and Sarawak at 105. They were followed by Negeri Sembilan at 91, Melaka 85, Kelantan 57, Pahang 54, Kedah 47, Terengganu 38, Putrajaya 10, and Labuan 7, while Perlis did not report any cases today. The implementation of the Home-Based Teaching and Learning (PDPR) for students nationwide is to ensure that no students are left behind in acquiring knowledge. According to the President of Sarawak Teachers Union, also known as KGBS, Ahmad Mali, PDPR does not necessarily rely on internet connectivity alone.
Sarawak Teachers Union KGBS President Ahmad Mali said the PDPR method is an effort by the Ministry of Education to ensure that teachers can continue the teaching process and the students will not lag behind in education and learning, despite the movement control order and movement restriction nationwide. He fully expresses his support for the ministry's stance in the implementing of PDPR does not need to rely on internet connectivity alone.
Contoh yang dicadangkan oleh KPM ialah menggunakan buku teks. Jadi kita juga menyokong dan percaya bahawa murid-murid semuanya sudah ada buku teks masing-masing.
Ahmad also mentioned that the PDPR method can only be successfully implemented with close cooperation and positive communication among teachers and parents.
Maknanya ibu bapa kalau ada masalah yang timbul, ibu bapa bolehlah memberitahu guru-guru berkenaan dengan cara yang lebih mesra dan sebagainya.
Right. Meanwhile, on addressing poor quality education and care, Human Rights Commission Sarawak Commissioner Associate Professor Dr. Madeline Burma suggested launching a special fund. The special fund is especially necessary when the country is plagued by the COVID-19 pandemic.
She said the special funds can be used to provide for those who are experiencing difficulties in home-based teaching and learning PDPR due to the closure of all schools in the country. This has emphasized the need for online learning in the new normal of a post-COVID-19 world. However, some families are still being impeded by the poor internet connection and lack of digital device accessibility. With the funds provided, the digital devices will become an effective tool in facilitating the PDPR process.
So, jadi keluarga begini ataupun keluarga B40 atau M40 yang memerlukan boleh memohon kepada dana tersebut untuk dia membeli perkakas, Kalau perkakas yang dia perlukan itu adalah internet, maka mungkin untuk boleh dia kita membayar sebahagian daripada internet dia. Mana-mana benda tu kena memohon. Jadi tujuan dia ialah untuk memastikan anak-anak ini tidak keciciran atau tertinggal hanya disebabkan mereka miskin, hanya disebabkan mereka tidak punya peranti, hanya disebabkan mereka ini duduk di luar bandar. So kita tidak mahu anak-anak kita, negeri kita kaya, negara kita kaya, tetapi masih ada lagi ramai anak-anak kita yang tercicir.
Now on to the flood development in Sarawak. A total of 3 temporary evacuation centres, PPS, were officially closed down on Monday. According to the Sarawak State Disaster Management Committee, SDMC, flood victims can return to their respective homes safely. The directive was issued after water levels showed a receding trend. The PPS in Lubak Buntin Community Hall was officially closed at 1 p.m. today, along with PPS Kampong Betong Kanowit Community Hall and PPS Kampong Lintang Community Hall, which closed at 2 p.m. and 3 p.m. respectively. Meanwhile, one PPS located at Kampong Rimba Padi, which is temporarily housing 49 flood victims, is still open. It's good news for everyone. The closing date for TV Star's application will be extended until February 15.
Atas permintaan ramai, TV Stars telah melanjutkan tarikh penyertaan ke 15 Februari 2021 dan had umur dinaikkan sehingga ke 35 tahun.
For those who are interested, send in your applications right away.
Untuk mendaftar, hantarkan video penyertaan anda ke www.tvstv.my/tvstars.
Aside from leaving a colonial legacy and influence in the state, the Brooks family had also left a legacy in coffee. And what's interesting is that the coffee farm is located in Padawan. Connie Grace has the report. The first type of coffee brought into Sarawak was coffee Arabica in 1866. However, due to environmental and weather factors, this type of coffee could not be planted successfully. Before 1876, Liberica coffee was planted in Sarawak and successfully bore results. Continuing the Brook legacy is Regina Katup, a Bidayu coffee operator from Kampong Karu, Padawan. Regina is continuing her late father's coffee business, Kupi Katup. Even the name of the coffee, Kupi Katup, is also inspired from her late father's name.
Sebab bapa saya Encik Katup ini orang pertama di Kampung Karu dan di kawasan Padawan dan orang pertama Bidayuh yang percaya Mr. Edward Yong pasal tanaman kopi Liberica ini. Jadi sebab usia dia tidak panjang, dia telah meninggal, masa buah kopi yang saya tanam semula dengan dia itu sudah masak. Jadi Mr. Edward dia memang ingatkan pada janji dia. Dia cakap kalau buah kopi kamu sudah ada hasil, saya akan proses untuk saya akan bagi nama kamu dalam itu tepung kopi, dia cakap. Sebab itulah kopi Katup ada di pasaran sekarang.
Meanwhile, for coffee expert Edward Leong, Liberica coffee is the most suitable type for planting in low-lying and tropical regions.
And we found out Liberica coffee ditanam di dataran rendah memang sesuai. Dia tahan kemarau, dia tahan banyak air, kan? Kita punya cuaca gila, tapi dia memang tahan lasak. So, it's very easy to plant.
Dalam usaha membantu untuk meningkatkan ekonomi tempatan, maka sokonglah dengan membeli produk buatan tempatan. Saya Connie Grace dan juga Juru Kamera Faitullah Moni, TVS Kopi Katup.
Now moving on to sports news, Badminton Association of Malaysia BAM was urged to take drastic measures in appointing Datuk Misbun Sidek to train world-ranking champion Lee Zijia in improving his performance.
Former National Sports Council Director General Datuk Sri Zokples Embong stressed that the 22-year-old athlete, who has been in 3 consecutive years in Bangkok, Thailand, has been under scrutiny lately. Thus, he said the drastic measure to appoint Misbun was needed, with the aim to enhance Zijia's performance and prepare him for the upcoming 2021 Tokyo Olympics. Previously, national coach Hendrawan acknowledged Zijia's performance was unsatisfactory and losing confidence, especially in making any decision during the tournament. Zijia began his path at the Thailand Yonex Open season by advancing to the quarter-finals before being eliminated in the first round of Toyota Thailand Open season by Indian player Samir Verma. The Kedahan player also lost in all 3 matches in a group of the BWF Final World Tour, further disappointing many national fans.
The 3 pairs of Malaysian mixed doubles competing in Thailand's championship have shown their promising potential. However, their coach Paulus Firman opined that there is a lot of room for improvement. He said they still fail to take advantage of their previous experiences during training, aside from being nervous. These national mixed doubles have learned valuable lessons during the Thailand Yonex Open Tournament, Thailand Toyota Open Tournament, and BWF Final World Tour visit at Impact Arena, Bangkok. Among the weaknesses that need to be improved upon are their tendency to make careless mistakes that cause them to lose points, being inconsistent, and performance that is not up to par with their opponents. wins. In the open match of Thailand Yonex and the open Thailand Toyota, the pair Tan Kian Mang and Lai Peijing recorded the worst performance after being eliminated early in the opening round. Hu Pangron and Chia Yi Si exhibited good performance when they qualified for the Thailand Toyota Open semi-finals after losing in the early rounds of the Thailand Yonex Open. The two players, however, did not manage to advance to the season-ending 2020 BWF World Tour Finals after failing to get a place in Final 8 of the Road to Bangkok rankings. And that concludes our Nightline for tonight. With that, I'm Handy Gui. Thank you for joining us and have a pleasant night.